This is Lancer737 for my 1,600th subscriber special. I wanted to do a Q&A, and after waiting a while, I got a list of questions, which I'm ready to answer right now. And firstly, for Stella, I'm really sorry that Gameloft is taking so long to have the updates for the snow to come out. Actually today, which is the 20th, there is snow, but it's not like normal, so if nothing changes, I'm probably going to play with those ponies that I was waiting on, because it looks like there might not be any snow anymore. Gameloft is being lazy. They're only going to have snow particle effects falling on the mat, and that's it. Anyway, for the other questions, I'll be answering them right now. First one, what's the inspiration for the channel and its name? Well, I mainly just wanted to record special things I would do in games that I really like playing. I actually didn't intend on having a bunch of subscribers. It just happened, and it's kind of cool. So I do more than what I was intending to do, which is just record things that I like doing to entertain you guys. And it's really great having you guys come on every day to talk to you. And I just hope you really like my videos. The ones that I'm making that I thought that you guys would like, other than the ones that I make purely for myself, just for recording special things. Like, for instance, in Connect Star Wars, it might have one of the most difficult achievements that you can get in a video game. Especially on all video games. I mean, there could be something more difficult, but it's not going to be very many. One of these achievements is beating Darth Vader in 59 seconds in Connect Star Wars. And take in mind, this is with a Kinect sensor, so you actually do have to be in extremely good shape, and you have to have really good hand-eye coordination. And when you're fighting him, there's no pattern to adapt to. He will attack you in whatever way he wants, and there's no way to adapt to it except for to get stronger and physically quicker to deal with him. And not only did I get that, and there's a very small percentage of it. You can look it up on trueachievements.com. Look at the ratio for how many people have it. It's the highest, except for, like, if you're comparing it to brand new games, because usually those scores will be really high just because, you know, it's brand new. Not very many people have those achievements. It's extremely high. Not very many people in the world, maybe like a couple hundred maybe, have that achievement. Because just to get to them, you have to beat Darth Maul and Darth Tyrannus and a couple other characters within a certain set par time. And then you have to beat him in 59 seconds, Darth Vader. And I actually had the world record for at least 2, maybe 3 years for beating him the fastest, which was 55 or 56.17 seconds, I believe. I would have to look at my video. I did make a video showing my scoreboard. I actually tried to have it go into the Guinness Book of World Records for video games specifically, and they wouldn't take it because it didn't sound beatable. Which, unfortunately, it apparently turns out it is beatable. One person was able to beat me by a millisecond. So now I'm second place with that. Still something to be proud of, but yeah, that's what I mainly wanted to do, was just record really cool stuff. Okay, my next question. Top 5 favorite games. That's going to be a really difficult one. I'm not sure if I can make a list of 5 favorite games, because there's a couple of games that I rank at the same level of enjoyment. But on the spur of the moment, I guess I would have to say number 1, top 1, maybe Star Wars TIE Fighter. If you ever first come onto my channel, you'll see a video that has TIE Fighters fighting on it. That is a recording of me playing the most difficult level in Star Wars TIE Fighter on the most difficult setting. And it's my favorite because it's one of the few where you get to use a TIE Interceptor, and the TIE Interceptor is one of my favorite ships, and that's actually what my icon is, but it's been customized I recolored it and made some lore for it for one of a Star Wars / MLP crossover universe that I made up. And it's part of Princess or Empress Luna's Royal Guard TIE Interceptor Squadrons, the Black Knights. They actually have existed for a really, really long time. It's just I added that to the lore. I'm actually not the curator of the Black Knight Squadron. It's existed for an extremely long time. But the pilots, the real pilots, when I say real, I mean like people that play it, not like fictional characters, that have been a part of it, have been some of the best players to fly in flight simulators, and they're not exclusively playing Star Wars games. They just like playing flight simulators. Number two, maybe a Mega Man game, possibly Mega Man 5. I like that one a lot, although I can't talk. I like that one a lot because it's the most serious one, storyline-wise. Mega Man's brother goes rogue, and he and a bunch of robot masters are literally wiping out everything in the world. They're destroying all the power grids, transportation, kidnapping of important officials. In the other games, Dr. Wily just had a couple of robot masters, and they had taken over a couple of areas, and that was it. I guess he was trying to extort people into giving them money for controlling those areas. But in this case, it's like they're full-on destroying everything, so the situation is extremely dire, and it's a really cool story because you really want to know why Proto Man, Mega Man's brother, has gone insane. And he's one of my favorite characters, so it was one of the driving points for me to play, because I just wanted to know why Proto Man was evil now. And the really cool thing about Mega Man was, at least back when I used to play it a lot, was it was, in a sense, it was like MLP. MLP is cooler in the sense that the actor / crew / fan interaction is really in depth. I really do feel like we're in a huge family, the way that we interact with each other. Mega Man wasn't exactly like that, but every time a Mega Man game was going to come out, the head designer would ask all the fans to start drawing Mega Man characters they would like in the Mega Man game, and they would pick through them. They do similar stuff with that with MLP, except for technically you could say more people have been selected to have their OCs become primary canon. Not 100% sure, but still the interaction's way more in depth, and like I said, I feel like we're in a family in MLP. In Mega Man, there's more interaction than other franchises, but not MLP. Okay, number three. Number three. You know what? I'm just going to nail off a bunch of games. I just cannot label them in different tiers, because some of them I'm going to like them just as equal, so it'll end up being more than 5. I like most of the flight simulators for Star Wars, like Star Wars TIE Fighter, Star Wars X-Wing Alliance, Star Wars X-Wing, Star Wars X-Wing versus TIE Fighter, Rogue Squadron 1 through 3, and any of the games that allow you to do a lot of dogfighting, which is most of the Star Wars Battlefront games. I like Star Wars Connect. I like all the Mega Man games, although I've never had a chance to play any of the Battle Network, which apparently Battle Network is kind of like Pokemon. I didn't get to play Pokemon very much. I wasn't too interested in it when it came out. I kind of liked the TV show. I didn't really play it that much, though. I liked the Super NES Zelda game. I never really liked any of the ones that came out after it. I didn't like their artistic style, I didn't like their music, and I remember being really badly bugged by one of the N64 versions where the beginning cutscene before you get to the menu just went on forever. I just wanted to play the game and I couldn't. Excuse me. I couldn't, so I gave up. I like all the Spyro games, including the Skylanders, but I prefer Spyro himself. The Skylanders are really cool, but I do not like the gimmick that I have to keep on buying game pieces to keep playing the game. You could say that the MLP game that you know me for has a similar problem, but it's a little bit better in the sense that the older pieces now have become obsolete. Unlike what they said, what Game for Bob's for Game, I forget the company that's a subsidiary that makes Skylanders. But when they first made it, they said that the game pieces you could still use them for other games and you can get by with that. But in their later games, not only do they not really have a story, you can't use those pieces to unlock different doors and stuff like that. So you have to buy new game pieces. I just don't like how much space they take up and stuff like that. I like Mario games, but most older ones, but I actually prefer Wario. Wario is my favorite character, and if you ever read the Nintendo Power magazine comics for Mario, you'll know that Wario actually used to get picked on by Mario when they were younger, and that's why they have confrontations, if you count the comics as canon. Let's see. Mario, Mega Man, Star Wars. Oh, Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy VII is one of my most favorite regular RPG games I've ever played. I don't really play MMORPGs. Final Fantasy VII is just really fantastic. I love the artistic style of it, the music, the stories itself. My favorite character being Sid Highwind. 6 is close, and I also like Destinia. Final Fantasy Destinia plays a little bit different. It's like an MMO. I don't know why I keep on wanting to say MMO. It's like an RPG, except for it's also a fighting game. And so, in the storyline, it has all the Final Fantasy different universes crossing over, and that was really a really cool dynamic to play with. Having your heroes, or having to have your favorite hero deal with heroes of other games you didn't really like, and see how that plays out. Same with the villains, because all the villains showed up too. I like the Metroid games, they're pretty cool. Super Metroid is probably my favorite one, but I do like Metroid Prime 1 a lot. I never got to play 3, I have it, I just haven't had a chance to play it. I love all the Alien and Alien vs. Predator games. You'll probably notice that some of my playlists on my page are Aliens Colonial Marines, which I think got a lot more flack than it deserved. And ironically enough, when I got the game, I didn't have any of the glitches at all that people complained about. I don't know if it's because I had the newest version of Xbox 360, which is the R2-D2 Star Wars 1. Because it technically is more advanced than the other ones because of the internal components, the hardware. Or if I got lucky. Maybe the reason the games are glitchy is because of manufacturing error when they made the discs. Maybe the way they did it, it caused glitches in the game. I don't know. I just never, ever, ever had any of the glitches and errors that people have with that game. I'm just really lucky, I guess. And of course, I love MLP. The problem with MLP is they don't have very many games that are official that are really good. I love the Game Loft game, but the problem with it is like they limit what you can do with the characters. I want to use Princess Luna a lot for other things, or other characters. And at best, what you could do was just trick the game and allowing you to use her in the Minecraft game, which you can't do anymore. It's almost like they watching some of the videos and saw that you could do that with some of the characters, and they fixed that. So, like, some of my favorite characters I can't even use at all. I can just look at them. And some of the newest characters now, you really, really can't do anything with them, because it seems like just about all of them instantly come with 5 stars for no reason. Like Grandpa Pear, he's a normal pony. All the other ponies you can play with, but you can't play with him. Can't play a ball with him. Can't do the star game with him. And can't do apple bucking. Let alone, I doubt there being any story with him anytime soon, although I don't know, maybe they will. It seems like they're ramping up with all these mini campaigns based off all the story plot points they can possibly think of. So it's possible. It just doesn't seem like it'll happen anytime soon. Let's see. I think I pretty much covered all my favorite ones. If I missed any, I'll mention it in the comments. My top 5 favorite cartoons? Well, MLP is definitely going to be one of them. I really love that series. I really love how well the characters were written. Unlike any other series I've ever watched, I feel like the way that the characters are written, they have a lot of heart and soul. The series might not have the most action, and sometimes, you know, the stories themselves can be kind of but that doesn't matter because there's so much heart and soul that the characters have that they grow on you a lot. You end up loving these characters, and they did a fantastic job with those characters. But that being said, there are some episodes that are also epically awesome. Like Do Princess Dream of Magic Sheep, or any of the episodes that they have that are season finales now. I think they should try having some of those epic things happen other than just the season finale, besides, you know, having it be epic. Like the main villain of season 7, he might be one of my most favorite villains now in the series. I want to see more of him, and not only in a season finale. And I do like some of the directions they're going with having it so some of the villains can't be redeemed, or they're not just flat out destroyed. That's also somewhat of a problem that the Avengers movies have. Now, some other cartoons I like. Believe it or not, I'm extremely picky. I'm lucky to actually even be an MLP fan. There's only one reason why I even gave it a chance, and if that situation hadn't happened, I might not even be an MLP fan. But thinking about it, it's gonna probably sound self-explanatory. I liked the Ruby Spears Mega Man cartoon series. Most of the time, I mean, sometimes they didn't take the characters seriously, so it was pretty lame. I like SpongeBob, or I used to. Not sure what the series is like anymore. It's been a lot of years since I've seen it, but whenever I do want to watch something, I'll just pop in some DVDs of the Halloween specials, usually with the Flying Dutchman. The episodes of the Flying Dutchman are usually my favorite ones, especially the one where SpongeBob and Patrick become part of his crew, and my favorite part being when the Flying Dutchman is having SpongeBob give him directions for if the boat is clear for obstructions, and it's not, even though he's saying keep going, you're good, and the whole side of the boat is getting scraped off by rocks and stuff. That part's really hilarious. Technically counts as 3. Let's see what. It's hard to say because, believe it or not, I'm not really a fan of Warner Brothers, Bugs Bunny and stuff like that. I'm not really a Disney cartoon fan either. I do like Darkwing Duck. I should have said that. Darkwing Duck, he's one of my favorites. And if you guys noticed, the Mystery Mare, she, you know, when the main 6 are playing as her, she looks just like Darkwing Duck, so that's a pretty cool Easter egg. I can't think of a 5th one. Again, if someone lost space on the drive, these phones do not have very much capacity to do anything. That's why some of my MLP videos are not as long as some of you would like. And to be fair, it would be more convenient if I could make an hour-long video. It's just with this phone I'm not able to. Anyway, the next question was, have I ever played Undertale, Five Nights at Freddy's, Shantae, Mario, and Sonic games? And I've played Mario, and I really enjoyed Mario. I actually like the Wario games more, though. Including Virtual Boy. That one was really fun. I have that on, well, of course, the Virtual Boy. Unfortunately, I think it's normal for the legs to have weak support. The legs on my Virtual Boy broke a long time ago, so if I want to play it, I'll have to strap it to my head like the Angry Video Game Nerd does in his review, where he takes duct tape and he just duct tapes it to his head. But yeah, that's an extremely fun Wario game. If you ever read Nintendo Power, and it had the comic books in it with Mario, you'll see an origin thing for Wario, and it actually looks like the reason Wario is the way he is towards Mario is because he has a grudge against him because Mario was a bully when they were younger. Wario wanted to play cowboys and robbers, sheriffs and robbers with Mario, and Mario always made him be the robber, and he would always shoot him with a pellet gun. And the one time Mario allowed Wario to be the sheriff, Mario didn't take it seriously, and he just laughed and embarrassed Wario, and yeah, that's why he took over Mario's castle, if you count those as canon. I mean, they're entertaining enough that I might, although it has some funny Easter eggs in it that would be hard to reconcile, including Mario and Wario trying to buy a Samus Aran action figure to impress Princess Peach. I've played Sonic. It's not bad. I had a lot of them. The only one I've ever beaten was Knuckles Chaotix on the 32X Sega Genesis. The problem I had with them is that they kind of lose their fun value for me. And at the time, between Mario and Sonic, it was and Mega Man. I picked Mega Man because the gameplay was just really, really fun. I love the character designs. I love the story in it. I love the fact that the people running Mega Man would have competitions every time a game would come out, or they were planning to have a game come out, and you could design the characters for it, and they would pick through those characters and have them be in the game. It's very similar actually to what they do with MLP now, where they have people make OCs and the cast will pick through them at competitions, and ones that they like will become primary canon and or collectibles. It's pretty cool. That's one of the things I like about both of them. That's why it's pretty cool to have a Mega Man MLP game, at least in my opinion. I've never played Shantae, Five Nights at Freddy's, or Undertale. I've seen the last two I just mentioned, and it's either that I'm desensitized to horror, or in my opinion it's not horrifying enough, but whenever I'd watch people play it and I'd see them jump, I would just laugh because I didn't see anything horrifying. The scare value wasn't there. It could just be that I am desensitized, because one of my favorite games, or one of the games I liked a lot, I can't necessarily say it's my favorite game, was Alien Isolation. Lots of people were horrified when they were playing that game, including in reviews. I wasn't horrified at all. In fact, I was sometimes annoyed with some of the stuff that happened in it, but I'd never jumped or anything. In fact, the thing that terrifies me the most, and that's the androids, and it's not because I'm scared of them, it's because they just won't leave me alone. They won't take a hint when I'm shooting a gun at them or trying to hit them with a wrench. They're like, no, I must squeeze you to death because I'm an annoying android that wants to make you never beat this game. Lols, lols, lols. LOL, 101, 101, 101. Okay, next question. What makes you like MLP? I think I pretty much went over this, but for me, I really love the characters, the way the characters were designed. You love them. The way that you go through the stories with the characters and how they're played by the actresses. They put their heart and soul in it, so you get an enrichment of these characters that you won't necessarily get in most other series. In fact, I almost want to say, because of what we go through with these characters, there's a good chance they might be my favorite characters out of every series, because, again, a lot of the time you're not going to find the action that you would find in like Star Wars or Robotech or Zelda or whatever. Not all the time, but it's the actual character development itself with very lovable, relatable characters that draws you in. It makes this a really worthy series for my attention. And I love the women that actually plays the characters because, like I said, I feel like this is a big family and they take a lot of their time to pay attention to us and interact with us. I mean, I've never heard of a series where actresses in a show with their fans will invite their fans to go to Disneyland with them. That's a really special relationship that we have with the people that actually making this. And like I said, I feel like we're a big family. Nicole Oliver is like our second mom. And the rest of them are heroes. And it's just, I love the show. I love the animation too. After I got into it, I wanted to see what G3 and G2 were like, and it's dramatically different. I fell asleep so many times trying to watch an entire episode from the G3 that it just watching it was either painful or I would just fall asleep without even intentionally doing it. So I had to watch it over and over again. I think it was Minty's Christmas Adventure or whatever it was. And I remember the colors were also intense at the same time. It was burning my eyes. And the scary thing is I love purple. They had a purple Christmas tree, but it still looked so bizarre and so intense with color that was hurting my eyes just to look at it on the TV screen. And the stories, my favorite kind of stories in MLP are actually the ones with the princesses because they tend to be the most serious ones. I like the more fantasy-based story arcs in MLP over story arcs with Rarity being concerned with her boutiques or Pinkie Pie being concerned with parties. I like a lot of Applejacks even though they don't follow that because I like seeing the family dynamic in her family specifically. It reminds me of stuff in my past as well. And I love her character, I love her spirit too, so that helps with that one as well. I love Rainbow Dash because she really is like anyone that is into fighter jets or was a fighter jet pilot or anything with aviation will really love Rainbow Dash because of her shared interests with those people. We can relate to her because we would all like to be the best of the best. Some of us are not, some of us are, but she strives to be the best and join and be a part of the best group, which ironically enough, if you look at the making of the Wonderbolts, they are referencing the Blue Angels when they created elements of them, including their suits. Their suits were purposely colored just like the Blue Angels, which is the United States Navy demonstration acrobatics group. But yeah, I love those characters. Next question is, which MLP character will you be? Who would I be? I guess I would pick my OC. As much as I like it's a difficult one. I would pick my own OC. My OC is Captain Blueberry Buckaroo. If you're from the Equestrio Amina, you'll already have read some of the stories with him in it. He's like an action-based story character that I write in the stories in my own series. It kind of, well, you have to count it as an alternate universe, even though they prefer you not to make alternate universes in the fan fiction. But I like in one of my stories, I kind of addressed the multiverse in MLP. But anyway, he's a captain, and he used to be part of the Equestrian Navy, and he goes on extremely magical adventures, adventure-based adventures. I guess that's kind of self-explanatory. But the thing with him is it's very fantastic, more than with the other characters in the series. And I'm trying to write the story so that there's a possibility, you won't know, and I'll keep it to myself if it's true or not, that either these stories are made up by the character because they're that out there compared to what you see in the show, or he really is, depending on your point of view, the luckiest or the unluckiest pony in the series because of how extreme the things are that he goes through. And I'm actually pretty proud of one of my fan fictions because it actually made the front page of the Equestria Amino, and the actress that plays as Princess Luna and Princess Celestia both liked it. That I'm very proud of that. I mean, I will never know if they actually ever did read it, but since they liked it, they at least saw it. I'll always be proud of that. I always used to get awards for winning competitions for writing stories. I was always told I had a good imagination and good talent for that. Never really had any interest in writing stories for most other things that I liked. Like, if you look at fan fiction, and it's one of the things I'm proud of with MLP. MLP probably has the best fan fiction I've seen for a series. If you look at other things that, like, I have interest in, if you look at Star Wars, I feel like every single fan fiction is like, oh, villain and hero have a fight with a lightsaber on Mustafar. Oh, you want to read a different story? Here. Hero and villain have a lightsaber fight on Hoth. Oh, you want to try something different? Okay. Hero and villain have a lightsaber fight on the Death Star while on fire. It's the same thing, but you have so many different variety of stories for MLP that you can find interest in. Like, I would pick magic fantasy, or if you want romantic stuff, you can find that. If you want dark stuff, you can find that. Humor, drama, sad fix, anything. And a lot of it's really, really good. I mean, there's some stuff that's not, but I'm very impressed with it. It's better than any of the other fictional stuff that's fanfic based for it, on it, that I've seen, especially Star Wars. But if I had to be a character in the show, I guess maybe I would pick a couple of my favorites. Princess Luna or Applejack, Rainbow Dash. But I also wouldn't mind being Star Hunter just because his name is really cool and he looks really cool and he's a nighttime based Wonderbolt. And I love the night. I love looking at stars. Stars are usually really beautiful, especially if you're out in the country. So there's a lot of elements to him that are similar to Luna, although he's not Luna, that I think are cool about him. And then, again, the name and the colors of his skin and hair, he's pretty cool. I guess I wouldn't mind being Sky Stinger either, just because he's a Top Gun reference character. Who is your favorite fictional character? I debate that all the time. That one is really hard. I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to pick one. I can tell you who the runners up are. It would be Princess Luna, Roy Fokker, Master Chief, Darth Vader, the Punisher, Frank Castle, the Punisher. There's actually a couple of them that were not Frank Castle. Baron Fell, he's one of the top fighter pilots of the Galactic Empire that flies a TIE Interceptor. There's reasons why I like some of them, different elements of some of them that I like more than others, but then there's other things I like about other ones. It would be hard to pick from them. I guess I would have to say they're all my top favorite, just because I can't find reasons. But like I said, they have all different elements. If I were comparing Princess Luna and the Master Chief, her heart and soul, her character pretty much beats his, just because most of the time he doesn't have it. But I do feel sympathetic for his character, because the times that you do see something, you feel sorry for him. If you're familiar with Halo, here's a brief thing. He was a little kid. Through scientific examination, they found that he had a lot of extremely advanced attributes that made him like a prime specimen as far as humans go, especially for a program they were going to make. So as a little kid, like a 3-year-old, he was abducted, put through military training, cybernetic augmentation, biological and chemical augmentation that were extremely painful, and then his entire life he was trained to be a super soldier that was going to be used to suppress rebellious uprisings. And then before that could happen, then there was an alien invasion, so he had to deal with aliens. He's been fighting his whole life, and because of his upbringing, he is damaged. He's not going to ever be a normal human. And there's elements in the later series where they explore that. But before that, he was just an awesome character. I mean, he was just awesome. They weren't exploring that. In the earlier ones, he's just like, he has these awesome one-liners while he's fighting. In between cutscenes, usually he's quiet. But it's like the things you see him do were awesome. Why I would pick Luna is because I love her character. Her colors, every single color on her is one of my favorite colors. She is all about the night, which is my favorite time of the day. She's also about winter, which is my favorite season. I love snow, especially like whenever it's perfect outside and you have the moon out. The sky is purple because of the conditions, and the moonlight's making all the snow crystals glitter. She's a warrior, which that is also awesome. If you read the novel, she actually fights 1,000 dragons nearly by herself, and that horrifies Princess Celestia, because Celestia would not have fought an army of mountain dragons without the EUP. I love that she's also very protective, but also aggressive, and she also is all about the dream realm, and that's also really cool. And she also summons lightning a lot. Lightning's one of my favorite things, so that's pretty cool. And then, like, her magic lasers are purple. It's like, there's a lot of things I like about her, and in specific categories, they top Master Chief, but like, then there's other reasons that I think are cooler about Master Chief than her. But to pick between those two and the others I mentioned, I don't think it's possible, because they all have something the other one doesn't. So those would all be my top. I just cannot pick one. And the last question: what are your experiences with RC air vehicles? 0. But it'd be really cool. I would love to try one of those out. There's a place that I'm close by that used to specialize in selling modifications to have simulated RC aircraft dogfights, and like they would have laser sensors on them so that if they got in the right position behind the enemy aircraft, it would make the engine of the enemy aircraft shut off, but you could still use the rudders and airlines and guide it down. That, to me, that might be a little bit dangerous unless there's no spectators real close by. I haven't been there, so that they probably don't allow them to be by, because it would be dangerous to have a big air radio-controlled aircraft flying around and just lose power, and you have to guide it down, and it could end up some bad place. I would love to have one of those huge gas twin turbine engine RCs that's based off a real aircraft, like an F-14 Tomcat. I would love that. And there's a lot of areas where I could fly that around here, but I also have a lot of interest in remote-controlled underwater submersive vehicles. Those look really cool too, and really fun. I grew up watching a lot of programs with competitions with people using boats and or submarines that are remote-controlled, and I always wanted to use that. So if I had a once-in-a-lifetime thing to pick between a submarine that's remote controlled and aircraft, I might pick the submarine. Because I also don't want to accidentally kill myself. You have to have a different style of training to fly those in an aircraft, obviously. I once tried an RC flight simulator on my Xbox 360. It didn't go too well. I'm more familiar with actually being behind the controls. I'm not going to go too much into that. I'm just going to use video games as an example. I'm very familiar with being behind the digital cockpit of an aircraft. That feels way more natural to me than flying an RC. I actually scored extremely high for one of the IQ attributes that they need for you to have high for piloting aircraft. It involves puzzle solving. Not like riddles, but like shapes and how they correlate with each other and how you would interpret them changing, if that makes any sense. Also had some classes. Well, I shouldn't get into that. Anyway, I hope you guys like the Q&A. I'm very much debating having another thing for the 1600 special involving me reading the Winter Moon Festival with Princess Luna. And if you guys would like me to, just tell me. Because I'm not sure if you guys like how I sound through the speaker. I imagine I don't sound that great. Every time I hear myself, I hate hearing my voice. I hate it because I don't sound like how I really do in real life as opposed to what I would sound like through the speaker. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a great Christmas season and a Merry Christmas to all of you. And again, Stella, I am sorry that I haven't used those ponies yet. I was hoping it would snow, and it really doesn't look like it will snow now, so I guess I am going to have to get on it with those guys, because the ones I waited till winter to play with, they are my favorite ones, and there's no reason why I wouldn't want to play with them. Anyway, take it easy, all of you. Here's the Christmas tree. Got a cross on top. Tiny scepter. Darth Vader as Santa Claus. Pretty scary thing to think about. Now the tree's 20% cooler. Rainbow Dash. And Pinkie Pie. Delicious Chicago-style pizza. I've been waiting for this for a really long time. Oh. And for you, a carrot and horsey sauce.